What up, everybody? You're watching New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. We are live here on a Monday like we always are. I appreciate all 103 people already in this piece as we do get rolling here on today's show. We got a bunch to talk about. We're going to talk about Saquon Barkley because it sounds like Schoen and Barkley are going to get back to the negotiating table and work on a long-term deal. We're also going to go over Mel Kiper's draft grades for the New York Football Giants. Then we're going to go over a couple of players I believe the Giants could target in NFL free agency following the draft because Schoen had some pretty telling words, I guess you would say, about the current state of this roster. He pretty much said, we're not done adding to this roster. And then we got a mailbag. So we got a mailbag, free agency targets, Saquon Barkley rumors, and then we're going to go over Mel Kiper's grades for the New York Giants. We got 4 segments in today's show. We are loaded here on a Monday. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. I want to know, though, where are all 156 of you watching from? Shout out your city for me in the comment section. We're going to give everybody about 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes to click on that push notification so they can join the party and we can get rolling. But first, let's light up the comment section. I'm going to give some shout outs to everybody that's letting me know where they're watching from. Hazelnut is in NYC. William Lano, what's good, Brody? Good to see you, my man. Timothy is in New Jersey. Melissa is in downtown Albany. What up, Melissa? Hope that knee's doing a little bit better. Marty is in Chesapeake, Virginia. Yuli is in New York. Bill's in New York. My man Darren Gale is rocking out from Georgia. What's up, Brody? JR, is that Alabama? I couldn't tell you. John M's in Connecticut. DC for Big Ron. Evans in Orlando. Omega Supreme is in Poconos. Is that how you would say that? Mike D. Flippus is in Syracuse. Lucas is in there from down under. He's in Australia. Corinne is always tuning in from Long Island. Good to see you, Corinne. Manny is in Seattle. Gregory, Houston, Texas. Mitch says, I'm not as good as Corinne. Yeah, probably not. That's true. Oh, man, you guys are funny as always in the chat. Oh, my goodness.
Giants fan, Wyatt.
Wyatt's in the chat. You must have push notifications on for us. I hope you do as well for Bears Now because you're always watching Giants videos. Make sure you watch those ads.
Giants fan Wyatt.
My man, Giants fan. Like, the name is Giants fan Wyatt or just Wyatt?
No, it's Wyatt,
okay.
but I thought we Giants fan Wyatt.
I thought we had a burner account for good old Wyatt. Good old Wyatt. Some super chats are coming in. We'll get to those in a second. We almost already got 200 people watching this video and only 47 likes. Hit that thumbs up icon. Let's get to 100 likes. If you want the show to get going, you're ready. You don't want to wait on anybody else. Hit that thumbs up icon for me. We got 190 people watching, and go ahead and type me in the comments section if you have liked the video. Do that for me right now. Like today's show, show some love, and if you have liked the video, go ahead and type me. My man Wyatt has liked the video. I'm going to tell you this much, Wyatt. Harrison Graham, he's not going to be too happy with you, buddy. He's not going to be too happy with you. We do got 3 super chats already rolling in. Every super chat that comes in pre-show, we'll talk about it. We'll pop it up on screen. So my man Ant Ben Rod 99 comes in with a super chat. What's up, man? Hope you're having a good Monday. He says, Saquon Barkley, 5 years, $100 million. No way, no how, my friend. Saquon Barkley will not get that much money for the New York Football Giants, but we do have a report. His brother says, damn, no shout out Brazil. Shout out to Brazil and shout out to you, brother, man. What up? As Zaffer is also in Alaska. There is a report that the Giants have made a recent contract offer to Saquon Barkley. We'll break that down coming up in a second. And then Gilly, what up?
Gilly!
Comes in with a super chat. It says, you didn't put an A+ option in the poll. I did not, and that's our reminder to let everybody know. Go vote in our live poll right now. I asked you to grade the Giants draft, A, B, C, D, or F. We have 207 votes in that, and 88% of those are coming in at an A. Maybe I should have put A+. Maybe. Wyatt's giving it a C. Yeah, Wyatt, yeah. Of course you are.
Here's the thing, Marsh. I know these are grades and not like percentages, but no one's perfect. It can't be an A+.
That is true.
That's as good as it could possibly get.
Yeah, I would give it an A. I gave it a solid A in our draft grades video from, I guess that was Saturday night we did that, right? Saturday night. Go ahead and check that out on the channel after today's show. We'll give you a chance, though, right now. Let us know in the comments section. If you didn't vote in the live poll, you can go ahead and vote in the comments section right now. We want you to grade the Giants NFL draft. I liked what they did. I thought they aligned themselves really well with best player available in team need, and whenever you do that, that's really a good outcome. I thought you got the best corner on the board in Deonte Banks. I know some people will argue and say Joey Porter Jr. I think everyone overrated Joey Porter Jr. a little bit. I think he's still going to be a really good pro. He was a great pick for the Steelers at pick 32. But there was 31 teams that passed up on him in round one. It wasn't just the New York Giants. I believe you got the best center in the draft at pick number 57. And then at 73 with Jalin Hyatt, you got the most explosive wide receiver and big play receiver in this draft, and that's what you needed. Giants were the least explosive pass offense last year. I see a whole bunch of A pluses in the chat. My man, Mr. Rick, is giving it a B plus. I give it an A. Big Ron gives it an A plus. Rick is giving it an A plus. NFL Fan Zone gives it an A minus. Wyatt says, "How long are you live?" I'll probably be live for about an hour and a half today. That would probably be my guess. Hour and a half, maybe pushing it a little bit. As Basil Champ is coming in with a super chat. We appreciate it, Brody. He said, "Marshy is so big blue, his widow's peak is turning blue." I may have dyed it before the show just for you, Basil. Just for you. But I could never get rid of the peak. I could never.
What would it take for you to dye your hair blue for the Giants season?
For the whole season?
At least a portion of it.
A lot. A lot.
You're not going to go full Marcus Smart, support your team?
No, I got the hard hat. And look, you wouldn't be able to see the blue hair if I'm wearing the hard hat. You wouldn't be able to at this point. Michael P. Michael Pallet, I believe, or Palais. Charbonnet, if you know, you know. $2 super chat coming in from Michael. So hyped for this season. Getting Hyatt is huge. It is huge, my man. Giants were the least explosive pass offense in the National Football League last year. And when you get a guy like Jalin Hyatt, that all he does is catch touchdowns of over 40 yards, that's definitely going to help. Hyatt is not a finished product. He's not a perfect prospect by any means either. Kind of benefited from playing in a little Mickey Mouse offense last year for the Tennessee Volunteers. Giants don't run that type of offense. What's interesting is he played a lot out of the slot, but it really wasn't actually out of the slot. They would have wide receivers on the outside, and then they would motion Hyatt from sideline to sideline, and they would snap it where he would be technically in the slot, but then he would just run past the DB. That's how he got open in college, is literally just running by people. He's fast, but he also has a sneaky fast to him. He gets up on you quick. He comes on you quick. Pause. That was sus. But he comes right by you, and he's going to go catch a couple touchdowns for the Giants this year. I can almost guarantee it. But he does need to get better. I want to see the route tree kind of expanded. I don't know if they didn't put him on those type of routes because he couldn't do it, or it just wasn't in the game plan for the Tennessee Volunteers. So, Michael, we appreciate it, my man. Thank you so much. 8.5 wins for the Giants this season. The draft is in the rearview mirror. We know who's going to be on the field for the Giants now at this point. I do think the Giants add a couple more players here. But I want to ask you this question because CBS Sports put out an article talking about everyone's projected win total for the 2023 season. And they had the Giants at 8.5 wins. So I want to ask you this question. Over or under? Type O for over, U for under. I'm seeing a whole bunch of overs in the chat, and Wyatt's typing 6. Wyatt thinks the Giants are going to win 6 games. That's kind of weird because the Bears might not even win that many games. Melissa says over. Gilly says over. Mitch says over. Corinne is saying over. Chosen Scrooge says over. My man Big Ron rolling with the over as well. I got the Giants winning anywhere from 9 to 10 ball games this year. I think their ceiling could be 11 wins. That's how I think right now. It's all going to depend on the offensive line, the health, and what happens during the season. But if I had to predict today what the Giants' record would be, I'm going 10-7. 10-7.
The schedule is coming out next Thursday. Obviously, that will be very indicative of what the Giants will do.
Agreed.
That's going away. But I was going to also predict 10-7 for what it's worth.
I think 10-7, 9-8, maybe 9-7-1 again if we freaking tie. But I think 10-8, 10-7 is a good, solid, thought process. Schedule's a lot tougher than it was last year, no doubt about it. But the Giants are a much tougher team than they were last year. Just think about all the additions that they added. Bobby Okereke on defense. They brought in Raheem Nunez-Roches. They brought in Ashawn Robinson. They selected a cornerback in the first round. And then go to the offense. They added a big play running back in Eric Gray. They added Jalen Hyatt. They added Darren Waller. They added Paris Campbell. They brought back Sterling Shepard. Giants got a lot more talent. Their offseason was good in the regards that they added talent. Now it's time for them to go put it on the field and see what happens. As Evan comes in with their first ever super chat. Shout out to my man, Evan. I want everyone to type his initials, EV, down in the comment section. If you super chat for the first time today, we're showing you major love. Shout out to Evan. Type those EVs down in the comments, and we'll give you some shout outs. Shout out to NFL Fan Zone showing him some love. ESMZ, Corinne, Marty, Wyatt showing him some love. We appreciate you, Wyatt. Shout out to Chosen, Carl, Cha, Melissa, Mamadou. What up, Mamadou? 88, M. Dillinger, Big Ron. Shout out to everybody showing him some love. He says, what are your expectations for John Michael Schmitz to be our starting center and to be a good center in this league? For Deonte Banks, I think it might be a little bit of a slower learning curve, and that's just kind of the nature of being a rookie corner in the NFL. I know we saw last year some rookie corners come in and dominate right away, like Sauce Gardner. Tariq Woolen was also really good for the Seattle Seahawks. Do we live in a world where maybe Deonte Banks, I don't know why I blinked on that. But yes, Deonte Banks, he could be an immediate producer, but I think they may bring him on a little bit slowly in those regards. And I expect Hyatt to catch a couple of deep touchdown passes. I expect all three to be impact players early on and be guys that make the Giants better. I really do. You got the best center in this draft. I think you got a top 3, top 4 corner, and you got a player at the wide receiver position in Jalen Hyatt that is a threat to go the distance every time he touches on the field. Defensive coordinators, they're going to be hammering in their pregame and, game plan leading up to the week 2. Don't let Jalen Hyatt get behind you, because if he does, you're not catching him. So, Evan, I appreciate it.
One thing I'll add about Jalen Hyatt is that it might be dangerous to press, but corners are going to want to get their hands on him.
Yes.
Because if you give him free releases, that's when he's going to be able to cook. So I think the biggest jump from Jalen Hyatt is instead of getting those free stacked releases he did in Tennessee, which allowed him to use his speed to run by people, expect guys to press him and give him. So he's going to have to learn how to fight those hands off, fight the physical coverage. And if he's able to do that, he can be a really good receiver in this league.
Wow. Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle are both listed as questionable for game 2. I'm going to do a short real quick here on Knicks, so give us a second.
I'll hop on screen.
Yeah, you can hop on screen. You can mute me if you want.
I'll mute Marsh as he goes and does a short for Knicks here. You'll still see him film it. Actually, wait a minute. I should have that. Yeah. So I'll hop on screen here for a second by myself, and while Marsh films that real quick. But let's answer Omega Supreme's $2 super chat. Why was Bryce Ford-Wheaton undrafted? He looks like a beast. Yeah, Bryce Ford-Wheaton was an undrafted wide receiver from West Virginia that the Giants just picked up on Sunday, or Saturday night, Sunday. Ford Wheaton is an athletic beast. I mean, he is an absolute athlete. He's like 6'3", 6'4". Sorry if you guys hear Marsh in the background right now, but he's like 6'3", 6'4". He ran like an unbelievable 40. I think it was low 4.4s. Maybe it crept into the 4.3s.
Just tweet that out. We will move to a video coming up in a little bit on the channel with Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle, both questionable for game 2.
That was funny because you guys could hear the entire Marsh short as well. But to finish my thought on Bryce Ford Wheaton, the reason why he went undrafted, even though he had that unbelievable athletic profile, is because 2 things. One, he did not have a good route tree in college, not a good route runner, just relied on his pure athleticism. And like Jalen Hyatt, doesn't have the greatest route tree and only relies on his athleticism, but Bryce Ford Wheaton did it at a much less productive rate than Jalen Hyatt. In part 2, Bryce Ford Wheaton had drop problems. He is a body catcher. He does not go out and grab it with his hands often. And in the NFL, you're going to need to go out, especially if you're running over the middle or deep passes. You can't always rely on your body. You're going to have to go out, make those catches with your hands. So his contested catch rate wasn't that good. He relies on his body too much. So if Bryce Ford Wheaton works on his technician and technique running routes, and then he gets on that jugs machine 2 hours, 3 hours a day to work on those hands, he could become a stud, but that's the reason why he went undrafted. That's really all he's known for right now is his athleticism and frame. Yeah, Hazelnut said he's 6'4", but like just because you're tall doesn't mean you're good at catching the football in contested areas and jump balls. Like let's look at Quentin Johnson for a second. I know Marsh talked about him a lot, but Quentin Johnson is like 6'2", 6'3", and his contested catch rate was like 30%. It wasn't good. He had a worse contested catch rate than 5'9" Josh Downs. I mean, Josh Downs was freakishly good at like 60%, but that's height and size does not always relate to being able to catch the ball in traffic and jump over guys. So that does come as let's see.
Towards the top, and if you need to adjust that later, I'll
Why it's saying "Go Cubs Go"? You crack me up. All right, Marsh, you back?
We're back. Breaking news on Knicks. How to do a video or a little juice on that. Why was Wheaton undrafted? Because really laid it out for you. But sure, he tested like an absolute monster, but put on the tape. I don't think that athleticism shows on tape, to be honest. He's not a great athlete on tape, but he doesn't show 4.38 speed and 42-inch vertical, in my opinion. I thought you said it great. A lot of body catches and things of that nature. But Omega Supreme, we appreciate the super chat, my man. I think it was a good addition by the Giants. Why not take a flyer on a guy like that? I'm definitely cool with that. Money Grip coming in with a $5 super chat. We appreciate it. Says, hey man, do you think we will be the Cowboys? We won't be the Cowboys or Eagles this year. We will be the New York Giants. But I think there is an opportunity and a chance that the Giants could maybe steal a game from the Eagles or from the Cowboys. I thought both teams got better this weekend. I will tell you this much. I am going to absolutely hate playing Boston Scott and Deuce Vaughn 4 times a year. Giants have had a problem stopping these little short scat backs, so we'll see. But, yeah, I could see us maybe splitting the season series with these guys. I think the Giants close the talent gap between the Eagles and the Cowboys, but they got to go out and do it. You don't win games in April, and you don't win games in the offseason. So we will we'll find that out here in a little bit. We got 300 people watching right now and just 124 likes. Go ahead, hit that thumbs up icon. If you want the show to start, we're going to do reaction to Mel Kiper's draft grades. We're going to talk about some free agent targets. We're going to talk about a Saquon Barkley extension, and then we got a live Q&A. We are not starting the show until we get to 200 likes. We got 300 people watching. Let's get to 200 likes. 132 people watching or have liked the video that are watching right now. We're not going to start the show until we get to 200 likes. So if you want to start the show, hit that thumbs up icon. It's right below me. Just go ahead and tap it. We would greatly appreciate it. And I want to do this one more time because I actually want to give some shout outs on this. If you have liked the video, type me and we'll give you a shout out. We're up to 153 likes. Let's get to 200. We're 47 away. No reason we shouldn't be there. Hit that thumbs up icon. Shout out to Mitch, Wyatt, Marty, Dimes, Gilly, Frank, Sinister Times, Gary, Michael, DJ Mav, J2K, T Savage, Zoe Finisher, Big Ron, Vincent, William Lano, Mamadou, Neezy, Joanne, 88 Trouble, Clark, Richard Rodriguez, what up, Brody? Shot is at you, brother, Pedro, Chris, Mitch, J.R. Woods, Tommy for one, Tommy repping from H-Town. We're 30 likes away. I know there's 30 people out there that have not liked this video. Shout to X-Wing Dragon, Steve Lopez, Trevor, Bobby Good Times. I hope you don't smoke Good Times. You do you? Shout to K Brown, Nick Grad, Nelson, Miggity Mars, Bernard, Shadow King TV. We're 18 likes away. Told you, we're not starting the show until we get to 200 likes. Gilly comes back with another super chat. Says, F the Pigeons. We go 2-0. F the Clown Boys. 2-0. If you go 4-0 against the Eagles and the Cowboys this year, Giants might win 12 games. That's probably what is going to happen. So, Gilly, I hope you're right. Speaking into existence, I like that mindset. We appreciate it. Thank you so much. We're 7 likes away, 4 likes away from 200. Hit that thumbs up icon. Got over 300 people in this mug. 3 likes away from 200. What are you doing? Hit the thumbs up icon. Don't be weird about it. Let's roll. 2 likes away. Who's going to be the 200th like? We're giving a shout out to the person that is. Wyatt says, guys, go. Hazelnut says, smoke them if you got them. Do what you do. We didn't get to 200. I'm going to say Chosen Screwed was the person who liked it and was the 200 like. So Chosen Screwed, thank you for being the person that liked it today and being number 200. Without further ado, let's get into it. What up, Giants fans? You're watching New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. Give me a follow on Twitter before we talk about Saquon Barkley, because I'm tweeting about the Giants all day, every day, even though Elon has locked me out of my Twitter on desktop. Appreciate you, Elon. You've really done a great job with Twitter. Thing is, you haven't. But give me a follow, and if you send me a DM saying, I know ball, I'm going to give you a follow back, because you know ball. Let's start with Saquon Barkley on today's show. Kind of a recap here. He has not signed the franchise tag. He did not report to voluntary workouts prior to the NFL draft. The franchise tag would be for pretty much $10.1 million. And reports are coming out that the Giants had conversations with Barkley about an extension prior to draft week. That is what Joe Schoen said back on Saturday of the NFL draft. And a report, according to ESPN, is now coming out that the Giants have offered a deal to Saquon Barkley worth $14 million per year, which would make Saquon Barkley the 3rd highest paid running back in the National Football League based on average per year value. And it goes way deeper than average APY, average per year value, because how much of that money was guaranteed? Maybe they offered him 3 years. What would that be? 3 times 14 is, doing a little math here on the fly, 3 times 14, $42 million. Maybe they only guaranteed $20 million of that. That's what I think Saquon Barkley is chasing right now, is that guaranteed money. This is what the highest paid running backs are, and I'm worried about a long-term contract extension because the Alvin Kamara contract has not worked out. The Dalvin Cook contract has not worked out. The Joe Mixon contract, I would say it hasn't really worked out. Ezekiel Elliott used to be number 3, and he got cut from the Dallas Cowboys. And I would also say the Christian McCaffrey contract did not work out until he was traded to the San Francisco 49ers. There's a reason that the Carolina Panthers traded him. So I just hope that Joe Schoen treads lightly when it comes to this extension and how much money he's going to pay Saquon Barkley. This is what Joe Schoen said to the media on regards of a Saquon Barkley contract extension. They asked him, are you going to talk to Saquon before the season starts? He said, yeah, We'll talk this coming week now that the draft is over, kind of reconvene and see if a new offer makes sense or not. Have dialogue now that the draft is over. And then this is what John Mara said to Saquon Barkley about Barkley. Mara spoke to the media a couple of days ago, and he said that you just go through these negotiations with your best player. It's not the first time we've been through it. I'm still hopeful at some point we'll be able to get something done. That is what John Mara said, not Joe Schoen. So just ignore that. But I do want to say this about what Mara said. Of course Mara wants to re-sign Saquon Barkley. He is the face right now of the New York Football Giants. When a person thinks of the Giants, they think of Saquon Barkley. They don't think of Daniel Jones, whether right or wrong. They think of Barkley. He wants to put butts in seats. That's what Barkley does. He wants to sell jerseys. That's what the number 26 jerseys do. Barkley is the most notable player on this team. Of course, John Mara wants to re-sign him. He used a number 2 pick on this guy. He wants to keep him in the building. But I got to say, a long-term running back contract, and especially one with Saquon Barkley, scares me just a little bit because Saquon Barkley, whether right or wrong, you want to call me a hater, and I should preface this by saying I love Saquon Barkley. I have his jersey, but I also love the Giants, and I love the Giants more than I love Saquon Barkley. I'd love him if they were together, but Barkley has had an injury-riddled career so far. But he was great last year. There's no doubt about it. Of course, he played his best football of his young NFL career during a contract season. He was great. 295 carries, 1,300 plus yards, 10 touchdowns, 4.4 yards per catch, and he was also a playmaker in the passing game. 57 receptions for 338 yards. He's a captain. He's someone that people love playing for. He's a leader. People look up to him in this locker room. I get that. But it goes so much deeper than that for just a running back position. He was also good in the playoffs. I thought he set the tone in that Minnesota Vikings game. That run up the left side where he went to the house. That other run where he just ran right through Dalvin Tomlinson, ex-Giant, at the line of scrimmage. He was great, but he was a non-factor in that Philadelphia Eagle game. And also, when you look at the 2022 stats and you break it down to the first 9 games and the last 9 games, Saquon Barkley was much better in those first 9 games. Let's break it down. The first 9 games this season, the Giants used him more than any running back had been used. Almost 200 carries, almost 1,000 yards, 4.7 yards per pop, and had a long run of 68 yards. And 6 touchdowns in the first 9 games. He also had 6 touchdowns in the last 9 games, but he pretty much had 80 less carries in the last 9 games than he did the first 9 games. His yards were essentially cut in half. His yards per carry went down, and his long run went down. He was also just less explosive and less, I would say, versatile and just forced less missed tackles in the last 9 games than he did the first 9 games. When you look at these stats broken down, the advanced stats is what I like to call them is, in the first 9 games, Saquon Barkley averaged 93 yards per game. He broke 30 tackles. He had 23 runs of more than 10 plus yards, 14 runs of more than 15 plus yards, and 3 reruns of more than 30 yards. But what about the last 9 games? Yards per carry. He cut that by 30 yards. He had a third of the amount of broken tackles. He had just half of the amount of 10-plus yard runs, half of the amount of 15-plus yard runs, and half of the 30-yard-plus runs. What does this tell you? Saquon Barkley was better at the front of the season. He was healthier. He was fresher. I believe that game against the Houston Texans, where he had 30-plus carries, really hurt Saquon Barkley. I thought that really had a long-term effect on really the quality of the running back that Saquon Barkley set. But I say all that to say, the Giants are a better football team with Saquon Barkley on it because he is one of the best running backs in the National Football League. But it comes down to how much money and how many assets do you want to really circle around a running back? Go back and look at the teams that have won the Super Bowl. None of them really pay a running back. The Eagles, Miles Sanders was a top 5 back this year. They let him walk. There's multiple ways to skin a cat. I agree with that. And I want Saquon Barkley to be a Giant. but we have to ask this question right here. What should the Giants do with Saquon Barkley? Should they extend him? Should they make him the second highest paid running back in the league? Because that is what Saquon Barkley wants. Should they franchise tag him? Should they have him play on the $10 million per year franchise tag? Or should they trade him? To be honest, I would like to franchise tag him. I don't mind if a long-term extension happens, but I would like to see it one more year from Saquon Barkley. I know people are going to be mad at me for that comment, but it's just the way I feel. I feel worried about Saquon being a long-term contract player for the Giants. That's just all of the running backs in the NFL. I love him. I want him to be on the Giants. I just think the best play is a franchise tag. But hey, I'll leave it up to you. Let me know what you think down in the comments. A little roundup here of all the news and rumors going around the league right now. Is Joe Schoen not done adding talent to this roster? It doesn't sound like it. This is what he had to say. He said, "We are always going to be looking to continue to improve. We'll never be satisfied. We'll continue." Again, right now is another opportunity to add players in depth and competition with the college free agency process. Then we'll have a rookie minicamp next weekend, so we'll have some players that will be here for that. Ideally, we have a bunch of 53 Pro Bowlers, but that's impossible. We'll continue to find where we need to add depth or maybe light on a starter or whatever it may be, but we'll continue to add depth and competition at all times. AKA, the Giants are not done adding players to this roster. They want to continue to get better, and that is a smart way to approach the rest of the offseason. There's an opportunity right now for the Giants to go out and sign maybe a free agent like Deion Jones that they had a free agency meeting with prior to the NFL draft. There's still a lot of talent out there, and I expect the Giants to sign at least one more player of a name-worthy player that has a lot of talent to maybe a one-year veteran minimum, that deal that has some contracts, some incentives in that contract. I don't think that Joe Schoen is done adding to this roster. Another rumor out there, and three scheduling notes. Next Thursday, the NFL schedule will come out. We'll be breaking that down for you as well. But the rumor is the Giants and Eagles are going to be the first Black Friday game that has ever happened. Also, it sounds like just a rumor that it might be Giants-Jets opening weekend on 9/11. How cool would that be to see both New York or New Jersey teams play on 9/11. We might get that week one. But this is what Peter King had to say about Giants versus Eagles on Black Friday. He said, "The first game ever on Friday afternoon after Thanksgiving is a very big deal for Amazon on the biggest shopping day of the year. I think the leader in the clubhouse for that game is Eagles-Giants. Absolutely not set in stone, though he said he thinks that it's going to happen, and there is nothing like a primetime game, Giants versus the Philadelphia Eagles. That would be a game that everybody would have their eyes on. If it's Giants, Cowboys, Giants, Eagles, those are always some of the games that draw the most viewership. And I want that game. I want to beat the Eagles on prime time because I absolutely hate the Philadelphia Eagles. Do you hate the Eagles? If you do, let's get in the comment section. Type F Philly down in the comment section. If you hate the Eagles, we got to get our lick back. 3 L's last year versus the Eagles, unacceptable. We got to get our lick back. If you hate the Eagles, sound off in the comment section for me. Type F Philly down below. That one could be really, really, really a lot of fun. We'll close the show talking about this. Did the Giants try to trade up for Zay Flowers? Those are the rumors that are going on right now. According to Dan Duggan of The Athletic, he is reporting that NFL sources have told him that the Giants were trying to trade up in the first round to go and select Zay Flowers. Remember, the Giants did trade up in round 1 to select Deonte Banks. So clearly the Giants were working the phones in round 1. And I believe the Giants wanted to select a receiver in round 1. But when you saw Jackson Smith-Njigba, Quentin Johnston, Zay Flowers, then Jordan Addison going back-to-back picks, the Giants really didn't have any other options. But they did trade up for Deonte Banks. And what was notable about that is Joe Schoen said in his Thursday night press conference that the Giants board was becoming very thin in the later half of that first round, which tells me the Giants had just one first-round grade remaining on a player, and that was Deonte Banks at the time, and that is why they moved up from pick 25 to 24. Do I love that they had to trade 2 picks, a 5th rounder and a 7th rounder, to move up 1 slot? No, I don't like that. But I do appreciate that Joe Schoen identified a player he wanted, and he made that move happen. This is what Duggan had to say about the Giants trading up for Zay Flowers, or at least trying to trade up for Zay Flowers, is conversations with league sources indicated the Giants actively pursued opportunities to trade up, having discussions with at least one team picking in the middle of the first round. A source from another team believes the Giants were trying to move up to land Boston College wide receiver Zay Flowers. And that's big news, because that tells you the Giants aren't happy with their current wide receiver depth chart. And Dan Duggan went on to say, a league source believes that even after Flowers was drafted, the Giants were content to take Jordan Addison. But the USC wide receiver was picked 23rd by the Minnesota Vikings. So clearly the Giants wanted to select either Zay Flowers or Jordan Addison with this selection, and I'm not mad at that whatsoever. The Giants clearly wanted to add a wide receiver, and they did that later on in the NFL draft, and I'm okay with that. That's not the I moved it into A. I'm an idiot. I'll put it in there in a second, Rolly. Just talking with my producer real quick. Give us a second. But I'm not mad that the Giants didn't trade up for Zay Flowers or Jordan Addison. I like the selection of Deonte Banks. He's a player that I think is going to be plug and play for the New York Giants. The Giants clearly needed a cornerback, and with Adoree Jackson potentially on the last year of his deal, they added to that position. I do want to tell you guys, though, that we have some jerseys on sale for you guys. Go to chatsports.com/Giants throwback. That is chatsports.com/Giants throwback. You can get the Daniel Jones, the Xavier McKinney, the Saquon Barkley, and they have a whole bunch of legends available as well. I saw an OCU Umenyiora. I saw a Michael Strahan. They have a whole bunch of jerseys that you can go out and get them today. Chatsports.com/Giants throwback. That link is in the comments and description of today's video. The Giants wanted a wide receiver. I think that was pretty obvious. They went to every big-time wide receivers pro day. They went to every big wide receivers pro day and then had dinner or lunch with all those guys. And I get it. Trading 2 picks to move up 1 spot was steep. No doubt about it. But you got to go get your guy. Because a lot of the people that complained about the Giants trading up were the same people that complained when the Philadelphia Eagles traded up to get in front of the New York Giants for them to select Devontae Smith. You don't want the GM that's just sitting on their hands saying, our guy's going to fall to us. I don't mind him trading up at all. I'm happy with the pick of Deonte Banks, and especially the way the rest of that first round played out. But I do want to ask you guys this question section. Who did you want the Giants to draft? Is there a guy that you maybe didn't get in round 1 that you really, really wanted? Who is it? Type ZF for Zay Flowers, JA for Jordan Addison, or DB for Deonte Banks. I wanted a receiver, but I'm not mad that the Giants selected Deonte Banks. I actually love the pick. I do. I think he's going to be an immediate player. Maybe a little bit of a learning curve for the cornerback. Tough position to translate from college to the National Football League. But the ability for him to possess the size, speed, and strength he does, as well as the abilities of playing man, press, and zone, I think he's going to fit like a glove in the Swink Martindale defense. Appreciate everybody for tuning in to today's video. If you haven't yet, give me a follow on Twitter. And if you've made it this far, be a real one. Hit that thumbs up icon. Yeah, I moved that piece into A when I moved it over before the show. I just didn't want to go to that because they already chose his number. Yeah. So I didn't want to be like, it's 0. It's just not 0. Oh, no. You're good. I think we made it work. Oh, sheesh. I don't mind the Deonte Banks pick,
It
of
looks
course.
like a lot of people were wanted Deontay Banks either. Anyway, I don't know if this is revisionist history, but Knicks Galaxy, 2 noobs, 1 grenade, Zion McCoy, William Lano. I mean, they're all saying Deontay Banks anyway. I only see one person saying J.A., that was Bobby Goodtimes, but everyone else is saying that they were happy with the DB pick, Deontay Banks.
Who was a corner drafted in round 3? Do you know off the top of your head?
Who was?
Any corner drafted in round 3. I know Corey Trice was.
Riley Moss.
Okay, so I'll ask you this question. Would you rather have Zay Flowers and Riley Moss or Deontay Banks and Jalen Hyatt?
That's a pretty clear answer there, fellas.
That's kind of my point. Would you rather have Jordan Addison and Riley Moss or Deontay Banks and Jalen Hyatt? Jesus. Yeah, I think the Giants came out winners in day 1. I'm cool. Zion McCoy says my name is Zion, not Zion.
Did I say Zion?
I know the name is Zion. There's that one player played basketball. Where at Duke? What was his name? Zion Williams. I know Zion Williams. I don't think anyone called you Zion. Did we? I don't know.
I feel like I didn't.
No, I don't either.
But maybe I did.
Yeah, the clear answer is Deontay Banks and Jalen Hyatt. Very, very clear answer. Woo! Still got 355 people watching. Make sure you hit that thumbs up icon. Let's get up to 300 likes. We're 56 shy. Hit that thumbs up icon if you haven't. Yeah, we do got a mailbag coming up later in today's show. If you want to be featured on our mailbag, ask a question about the draft, ask a question about anything revolving the New York Giants, just make sure to, in your comment, down in the comment section, include hashtag Giants. It's got to look like it does on screen, no spaces. Make sure it all connects. Or you can super chat. All super chats that apply to the New York Giants and a question, we will put those up. All super chats are guaranteed to get on the mailbag. We'll actually skip the line and we'll start the mailbag with those questions. Hashtag Giants or super chat. Would appreciate it if the real ones were to go ahead and drop a question down in the comments section for us, or we just won't do a mailbag.
Rob Jigga, you got a good question, but you didn't use hashtag Giants.
Rob's in the chat. What up, Rob Jigga? What up, Rob? Any news on the UDFAs today? No. That's why we did the video yesterday. Go check it out on the channel, my man. Go check it out on the channel. Bill's in the chat. What up, Billy? Rob, there is no new news on UDFAs. We literally did a video yesterday about all the UDFAs signed. So you can go check that out on the channel. They signed 7, and they are rumored to have invited 7 more people as rookie tryouts to their rookie minicamp. Corinne, what up, Corinne? Bill's in the chat. Frankie got a question in. Trade Barkley for... you guys are funny. You guys are funny. William says, Tennessee ran a weird offense. I feel like Hyatt could have ran all the routes. Yeah, I don't know if Hyatt can't run routes. We just didn't see him do it.
Yeah, so I would say, like, it's not he doesn't have a route tree. I think the way would say he has a limited route tree because we didn't see him do any.
Yeah, like, I don't even know what to say. Like, his route tree in college was limited. Pretty much any vertical route he ran. But, like, I can't say he can't run routes because I didn't see it. Like, it's not like they sent him on these routes and he ran them badly. It's just we didn't see it. We didn't see him run any creative routes. We saw him run wheel routes. We saw him run go routes. We saw him run post routes, stop routes, comebacks, screens, slants. Yeah. Alrighty, we got a mailbag coming up. Use hashtag Giants or super chat. But let's get to my favorite segment of today's show, and that is Mel Kiper grading the New York Football Giants 2023 draft class. What up, everybody? You're watching New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. In today's show, we're going to react to Mel Kiper's reaction of the New York Giants 2023 NFL Draft. He gave the Giants a grade for their draft, and he talked specifically about a couple of their prospects. So we'll talk about his grades. I'm going to react to the grades, and at the end of the show, I'm going to ask you guys to grade the Giants draft class. But first, show some love and share this video over to Twitter. Click the share button. below the video. It looks just like that. Then click select the Twitter icon, and then click post to Twitter, and then tag me in the tweet at @MarshallGreen_, and I'm going to give you a retweet and a follow back. If you share the video, you click it to Twitter, and you tag me, I'm going to give you a retweet and a follow back. I think it is proper for us to go back and recap and really talk about just who the Giants selected. Obviously, they selected Deonte Banks, defensive back out of Maryland, win the first round. They traded up for him. We'll get to that trade in a second. Then they selected John Michael Schmitz in round 2, the center out of Minnesota with pick number 57. Then they selected Jalen Hyatt, the big play wide receiver out of Tennessee, in round 3. The Giants, though, they did make 2 early trades in this draft. They moved up from pick 25 to pick 24, and they made a trade with the Jacksonville Jaguars. They included their 5th round pick and their 7th round pick. I don't love that they gave up 2 day 3 picks, but they're 2 day 3 picks. I'm not crying over spilt milk. The Giants, they identified a player that they needed and they didn't want to miss. They went up and got him. I like that because that means they love the prospect that they got. Then in round 3, they didn't want to sit on their hands anymore and hopefully wait. That Jalen Hyatt was going to fall 16 more picks to pick 89. So Brian Dable actually texted Sean McVay. He's the one who initiated this trade, according to Joe Schoen. The Giants, they sent pick number 128 and their 3rd round pick to move up 16 slots. That's the pick that they selected Jalen Hyatt with. Then in day 3, they had 4 more selections. They selected Eric Gray, the shifty running back out of Oklahoma. The guy breaks pretty much every first tackle. He's really fast. He's not really fast. He runs a 4.6 40, but he's extremely quick. He's quicker than fast. He's got a really strong dead leg move. He can make people miss. He did that for Oklahoma, and he did it for 2 years at Tennessee as well. Then you selected Trey Hawkins, the 6'2", 6'1.5" corner out of Old Dominion. Some people say 6'3". He got measured at almost 6'2". Then they selected the big body interior defensive lineman, Jordan Riley out of Oregon. He's almost 350 pounds. Giants got some beef in that area. Then they selected the safety, Jervarius Owens out of Houston. I thought that was a steal. Here at Chat Sports, we had a 5th round grade on him, and I like how he's played more than 300 snaps in special teams. So right away, he could be a player that helps the Giants on the special team side of the ball. I loved what the Giants did. I gave them an A grade. Did you like what the Giants did? Let me know. If you did, go ahead and hit this thumbs up icon. If you're happy with Joe Schoen in his 2nd draft as the general manager, hit that thumbs up icon. And if you're not, tell me why down below in the comment section. Mel Kiper gave the Giants grade for the NFL draft an A-. This would be the 3rd best grade, or tied for the 3rd best grade with the Arizona Cardinals that Mel Kiper handed out. He only graded the Seahawks and the Eagles as the 2 teams that had better drafts. He said the Giants landed 3 of his top 45 prospects in the first 3 rounds. And he said he loved the tape from Deonte Banks. He said whenever he watched him, he said he saw a guy that really played strong man coverage, liked his tape a lot. And he said this class is lifted up by those first 3 picks, which all fit positions of need. And I thought Joe Schoen did a really good job of taking the best player available on the board that met a position of need. Whenever you can align BPA with need, you're going to do a really, really good job in the NFL draft. This is what Mel Kiper, though, had to say about Deonte Banks. He said, cornerback Banks was consistently impressive when I watched his 2022 tape, and he stuck to receivers in man coverage. He has both experience, he started 8 games as a freshman, and toolsy 42-inch vertical leap at the combine, also ran the second fastest 40 time of corners right behind DJ Turner. We can slot him in as a starter on the other side of Adoree Jackson. And I echo what Mel Kiper said. I love the pick of Deonte Banks. I believe you got either the 3rd or the 4th best corner in this draft. Some people will say Joey Porter Jr. I think it's a toss-up between those guys, but I think it is telling that no team selected Joey Porter Jr. in the 1st round. I love the Deonte Banks pick because he's a great player, and it fits a hole the Giants had on this roster. Outside of Adoree Jackson, I believe the Giants have a couple of question marks in that secondary. I like Darnay Holmes. I don't love Darnay Holmes in the slot, and that won't be what Banks is. He's an outside corner. Maybe Robinson can slide back in to the slot, though. I like what I saw at the end of the season from Cordell Flott. I see Banks right now as this first backup behind Robinson at the CB2 spot, but I'm not going to be shocked if Banks is your number 2 corner on the opposite side of Adoree Jackson early on. Think about this, guys. Fabian Morrow was a player that started a lot of games for the Giants last year. He hasn't been signed by a team yet. Kiper also said that John Michael Schmitz was his number 1 center in this draft class. The Giants got him at pick number 57, and Kiper believes he will start for the New York Football Giants on day 1. So I'm going to go ahead and slide him in as the starting center for the New York Football Giants, and this is a beautiful offensive line right here. Young, no doubt about it. Andrew Thomas, he's entering his 4th year. Joshua Ezeudu was a top 100 pick. He'll be entering his 2nd season. Obviously, John Michael Schmitz is a rookie. Mark Glowinski is your most veteran player. He hasn't even been in the NFL that long. Then you got Evan Neal. Neal needs to get better, no doubt about it. Joshua Ezeudu needs to get better, no doubt about it. I think Mark Glowinski will be better in his 2nd season, but if John Michael Schmitz can step in and solidify that center spot, this team is going to be much, much better because of it. Kiper also said Hyatt was his 44th ranked player in this draft class, and you got him at 73. That right there is a very, very valuable pick. I love what Hyatt does. He stretches the field. He puts pressure on the DBs, but the thing that he does best is score touchdowns and very long ones at that. Look back at Hyatt real quickly. He had 15 grabs this year of over 30 yards, 11 catches of over 40 yards, 7 catches of more than 50 yards, 5 of more than 60 yards, and he was 2nd in college football in deep yards at 633. What does this tell you? He is an explosive player. Explosive plays are going to happen more often with the Giants. They were the least explosive pass offense in 2022. That might change in 2023 with Jalin Hyatt. He had an all-around great season as well. 15 total touchdowns, 67 receptions, almost 1,300 yards, 19 yards per catch, and a long catch of 78 yards. I love how he did it in a conference that is full of great defenses. But the thing that I love the most out of Jalin Hyatt is he played his best football against one of the best teams in college football, and he did it against Nick Saban's Crimson Tide. 6 receptions for 228 yards and 5 touchdowns. 5 touchdowns in one game against Nick Saban. He just ran by the Alabama DBs all night long. 34.5 yards per catch. I can't wait for Jalin Hyatt to be catching deep touchdown passes from Daniel Jones. DJ was really happy about the pick. On Saturday, when Hyatt showed up to the Giants facility, Daniel Jones was there waiting for him, and he met him and got to know him a little bit. I love that out of my quarterback, getting there and meeting your new playmaker. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel because the draft may have already come and gone, but we're not stopping our coverage, ladies and gentlemen. We put out Giants videos every single day. We go live every single Monday, and we're going to be live for every single game day this year as it's May. We're less than 4 months away. We're 4 months away from football starting up again. Hit that sub button if you're a real one. Lock us in, the best YouTube channel that covers Big Blue. Kiper had to say this about Gray and Owens, some day 3 picks from the Giants. And I like running back Eric Gray as a potential steal on day 3. He isn't a burner, but he could be a one cut back behind Saquon Barkley. And then safety Gervarius Owens is an intriguing flyer in round 7. I thought Gray was really good for OU last year. Last couple of days, I've continued to do more research and watching film on Gray, and he is one shifty SOB. He's got a killer dead leg. He can put it in the ground and change direction very easily, and he made a lot of people miss down in the Big 12 this past year. 6.4 yards per carry, 11 touchdowns. He's also a solid receiving threat out of the backfield. I would not be surprised if we see Gray and Barkley on the field multiple times coming up this year. Don't go to that. 33 receptions, 229 yards. When you think about the running back room right now, you got Saquon Barkley, you got Eric Gray, you got Matt Breida. You also have Gary Brightwell. Jashaun Corbin was a UDFA last year on the practice squad. So I think with this Gray pick, it might be bad news for Gary Brightwell unless he continues to find a way to contribute on special teams. Speaking of special teams, that's where Gervarius Owens excels. This is someone that had 361 career special team snaps in his time at U of H. 74 tackles last year, 1 tackle for loss, a lone interception, and 8 pass breakups. He's better in the run game than the pass game, but he's someone that I like, and I think he's going to contribute right away at that special teams position. So now the safety depth chart has some talent in it. Obviously, you lost Julian Love, and that's going to hurt. But I believe the additions of Bobby McCain and Jason Pinnock being back his second season, as well as maybe Dane Belton taking a leap in year 2, you're going to be better in that spot. And Xavier McKinney is going to be back, and I think he's going to have a big-time year as well. He's looking to get paid, and he plays this season well. He will get paid. So I like the pick of Gervarius Owens. I almost like every single. I don't dislike any of the picks the Giants have. They were killer in the first 3 drafts, first 3 rounds. Joe Schoen, hats off to you, my man. You did an excellent, excellent job. But I want to ask you to grade the Giants draft class, A, B, C, D, or F. Sound off for me down below. Mel Kiper may have given it an A-. Mel, you're wrong, my man. This is an A. You got 3 top 45 players in the first 3 rounds. And then you got a steal at the running back position. I believe Owens is going to be an immediate player in special teams. And I think you might have got someone at the cornerback position at Old Dominion that Wink Martindale really, really liked. He's 6'2", strong, long, fast. He's a press corner. I definitely think that was a Wink Martindale pick. Overall, I give this class an A. Always hard to grade it, because we haven't seen these guys play in the NFL, but just based off of the picks that they made at the spots they made them and the value, I got to give this draft class an A. Appreciate everybody for tuning in to our today's video. We're going to continue to put out videos every day on this channel. And the best place you can find the quickest and speediest news about the Giants is over on my Twitter. So give me a follow at @MarshallGreen_. Fuck, that hurt. I accidentally knocked my hand on the desk. Just their RB 3 and 4. Brightwell and Breida. I mean, that's on me. I should have did that. You're good. I'll update them all now. Rob says, why did Hyatt fall so far? It's a good question. I don't have an answer. Even Mel Kiper said he was shocked he fell to the 3rd round. Maybe, Rolly, they were worried about the fact the way he got open was just by running by people, but I think that's more of just the offense. What is he supposed to do if they only call him on vertical routes? You want him to zig and zag or just go?
I know the biggest knock on him, and a lot of people made this joke, is that Tennessee's offense was Mickey Mouse, to where the play calling and play design was so good that everyone's stats that just got super inflated, and they weren't actually as good as the numbers were showing and how successful they were. So that's, I think, why Tennessee players went lower than expected. If you just really look at the big 3, Hendon Hooker didn't go until the 3rd round. Jalen Hyatt didn't go to the 3rd round. And Cedric Tillman, I don't think
he went 1 pick after Hyatt.
Yeah, so he went in the same area. So their 3 biggest players, the highest picks for the Volunteers this season, all went in the 3rd round, when a lot of people believe they could be late 1st, early 2nd round type of guys. I think the league viewed that offense as really good coaching, and the players aren't going to see that type of play style in the NFL. That's how I viewed it, and why those 3 guys slipped.
I just feel like it's hard to grade like that, because it's he just did what he was asked.
Right.
That's the offense.
You can't blame him. It's just that people around the league, I think, don't view his success as a translating thing to the NFL. It's something that could translate to the NFL, I should say.
You know what's going to translate is that speed.
That does play. Speed, hey, my dad has always said, I think everyone says it, can't teach speed.
Can't teach speed. And I'll say this. I think it would be dumb of the Giants not to steal a couple of those plays from Tennessee. Do the plays that he succeeded at.
So the reason why we were talking about in the Chat Sports office that he was able to do these type of plays at Tennessee is because they have wider hash marks. So you're able to spread the field more, right? Like in the NFL, you can't put the wide receivers as far out as you did in college. So I think that just allowed Tennessee to have some different formations that the college football coaches just didn't know how to defend, and that's what really led to all the success for Tennessee.
Yeah.
Mitch is being nice to me. He says, "How are you doing?" I'm doing good, Mitch. How are you doing?
I will say this. If you don't have a safety over the top of Hyatt, he's going to run right by that corner. I do believe that.
And it is something where it's unlikely to catch a defense in a nickel formation where they only have 2 corners if the Giants go 3 wide receivers. So it's unlikely to catch a defense in that scenario. But if you get Hyatt in the slot matched up with like even a safety or somehow a linebacker, that could be a big play, right? Waiting to happen.
Like, let's say you have Isaiah Hodgins on the left, Darren Waller in the left slot, Saquon offset to the left, and then Hyatt lone by himself on the right. That's a tough, like, what does the defense do? How many people do you put on Hyatt? It only takes 1 catch for Hyatt to change a game.
What I think is important for Hyatt to do early on is establish his route running ability, at least in intermediate routes.
Yeah.
Slants, comebacks, curls, because if you could establish yourself as a decent route runner in that area, you know what that opens up? Hitch and go, baby. And then that's where Hyatt really takes advantage of a corner in a one-on-one situation.
Like, think about the route tree that Darius Slayton ran last year. That wasn't complex. Those deep 12 to 15-yard over routes, imagine Hyatt full speed catching those and getting upfield and going instead of Darius Slayton. Slayton's fast. He actually ran a faster 40 time than Hyatt, but he doesn't play as fast as Hyatt.
Yeah,
that's
Hyatt's
for sure.
40 time. I remember him saying prepare for like a high 4.2s or low 4.3s. It was 4.44, I believe.
Yeah, it was low 4s.
And it's funny that us guys watching, analyzing, say, oh, he didn't test as well as we thought. Yeah, 4.4 is still unbelievably fast.
Yeah. So, we'll see. Giants got a whole lot more interesting, I'll tell you that much, over this past weekend. We're going to go through our Giants free agency targets coming up here in a second. But first, this is one of your last chances to get in on our mailbag today. We actually did get a $5 super chat from my William Lano. We'll go to that in a second. But if you want to be featured on the mailbag, use hashtag Giants or super chats. All super chats are guaranteed to get on the show. We'll give you a shout out. If you want to ask a question and you want to be featured on the show, ask it in the comments. Just include hashtag Giants, just like you see it on screen. Lano, my man, did come in with a $5 super chat. Thank you, William. He says, I've been saying for weeks that Hyatt is that guy. Glad we picked him up. Look, I didn't even think Hyatt would be available at 57. I didn't even think that was possible. So for the no way Hyatt gets to 73, we always have those guys. But look, even if like Hyatt doesn't become the player I think he can be, it was still worth the pick. He was the best available player, not just at wide receiver, on the board in general at 73. And I think it was worth at least the risk, which there is some. But I'm happy with the pick. I really, really am. I think Daniel Jones is happy with the pick. Because, look, Hyatt makes Jones better. He also makes Saquon Barkley better. Because you can't pack the box and not have a safety over the top of Hyatt. Because if that cornerback misses in press coverage, see you later. Hyatt's going and dancing in the end zone. He's dancing in the end zone. All righty. We're going to go through our free agency targets because the Giants, I think, could still sign a player or two. And you usually see some motion after the draft. So let's get into it. I want to ask you guys this question before we get rolling in today's show. Following the NFL draft, in your opinion, what is the Giants' biggest need? If you had to say a position that they still needed to maybe add some talent at, what would it be? Let me know down in the comment section. You are watching New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. The NFL draft is over and done with, But according to Joe Schoen and listening to what he has to say, it doesn't sound like the Giants are done adding players to their roster. So in today's show, we're going to go through some free agency guys and players that are out there that I think the Giants still could look to go and sign. The reason I think the Giants could go out and add more players, well, Joe Schoen pretty much told you that they're not done in that department. He said, we are always going to be looking to continue to improve. We'll never be satisfied. We will continue. Again, right now is another opportunity to add players in depth and competition with the college free agency process. Then we'll have a rookie mini camp next weekend, so we'll have some players that'll be here for that. You always see after the NFL draft that some teams take this time to go and sign some of those talented veterans left in free agency. I think the Giants might just do that. And if the Giants make a move, if they make a signing, we are going to be breaking it down here on the channel. So make sure you guys are subscribed. We're getting closer and closer to 28,000 subs on the channel. So if you want to be the first person to know if the Giants make a move, hit that big red button. And I also want to say welcome, because over the NFL draft, we added 650 subscribers. So for all you people that just subscribed, make sure your notifications are turned on. Hit the bell icon. It looks just like that right here, and select all. So every time we put a video out here on the channel, you get alerted and you never miss a thing. I do want to start with Deion Jones is probably the most likely player the Giants could go out and sign, because remember, Jones took a free agency visit with the New York Giants about a month ago, and I believe they had him go through a physical because he has missed some time back in 22 with the Falcons before he got to the Browns, had offseason surgery, and I think they wanted to see where he was out, and they said, if we don't get an opportunity to address the linebacker position in the NFL draft, they could look to sign Deion Jones. And I would absolutely love that, because this is a guy at one point was considered a top 5 linebacker in the NFL. Is he that guy anymore? Probably not. But he's still a good football player. I mean, look what he did in 2021. 137 tackles, 8 tackles for loss, and 2 sacks. In 2020, over 100 tackles. In 2019, over 100 tackles. I also like his ability to be a blitzer at that linebacker position. He had 2.5 sacks this year, 2 the year before, and 4.5 the year before that. And I think the Giants could still add a player to this linebacker depth chart. I love the addition of Bobby Okereke. I believe that was one of the best free agency signings. I like Jared Davis, whichever way you want to say it. I've heard him say it both ways, so I don't know which way to say it. But you're looking for a guy like Darian Beavers coming off an ACL injury to hop in and be a ball player. You're expecting a guy like Micah McFadden in his second season to come in and make your team and be a player that can give you some valuable snaps. But I would not be surprised if the Giants go out and sign Deion Jones. I'll tell you this much. They didn't just bring him in for a free agency visit for nothing. They wanted to check him out because they like him, and the Giants know they got to get better at that inside linebacker spot. So I want to ask you guys, do you think the Giants should sign Deion Jones? Really fast player, sideline to sideline linebacker, has the ability to blitz the passer. I wouldn't be shocked if they do it. I would actually be in favor of them doing it. I would love to see Okereke and Deion Jones in the middle. Obviously, they'd have to work out the money. But you can create cap space, restructure Leonard Williams, extend his money into the future. That's $13 million in cap space. I don't think Deion Jones will be that expensive. Maybe 1 year, $3 or $4 million. Very, very similar to the Ashawn Robinson contract. So let me know. This will be the pinned comment when you get hit with that YouTube ad break. Scroll on down and let me know what you think about Deion Jones. Another player that I think the Giants could be linked to, even though they selected 2 corners in the draft, I think it makes it less likely they go out and get a guy like Marcus Peters, but they're obviously connections to Marcus Peters. Go back to his time in Baltimore. He played for Wink Martindale. He knows the system and he fits the system like a glove. He is getting older, no doubt about it, and that's why I think this could be possible. Maybe a 1-year veteran minimum deal. I do think this is less likely than Deion Jones, but I do think the Giants could go out and maybe take a peek at Marcus Peters. When you look at what he's done the last 4 years, he's still a solid football player. He's an aggressive corner. He likes to jump routes. He's a playmaker at that spot. At one point, he led the NFL in pick sixes over a time of a couple seasons. This past year for Baltimore, 6 pass breakups, 1 interception. Did not play in 2021, but in 2020, 9 pass breakups. 2019, 14 pass breakups and 9 interceptions in those 2 seasons. The Giants, they have a lot of bodies at this spot. I mean, look, you got Jackson, Holmes, Robinson, Fly, Johnson, Deontay Banks, your first-round pick. Then you selected Trey Hawkins as well in the NFL draft. Amani Oruwariye as well. So I do think that Peters is less likely, but I don't know if they're done adding to this position group. I think they could be, no doubt about it. But I think Peters could be a guy that maybe they call and see if he wants to come play for the veteran minimum. I believe that's all the Giants would offer him. But if they want to sign him, sure, I wouldn't mind it, but I'm not going to be mad if they don't do it. Either I don't mind playing the young guys at that spot, getting them those reps, but play the young guys. That's kind of where I'd go. I'd kind of pass on Marcus Peters, but if they sign him, I'm not going to be mad whatsoever. I don't think he's going to ask for a lot of money. I mean, there's a reason that it's May 1st and he hasn't signed yet. We'll get to a couple edge rushers I think the Giants could go out and look at because they definitely need to sign another edge rusher. We'll show you that depth chart. But first, listen up, everybody, because we got some awesome Giants jerseys on sale for you guys. The throwback jerseys are the ones that we are featuring today. Go to chatsports.com/Giants throwback. They got a lot of current players. They got some throwback players. I saw a Tuck, an OCU Minora jersey on there. They got a whole bunch of awesome jerseys. Get yours today by going to this link, chatsports.com/Giants throwback. That link is clickable down in the comments and description of today's show. I believe the Giants do need to go out and sign another pass rusher because when you think about it, you got Kayvon Thibodeau, you got Azeez Ojulari, but who do you got after that? So I wanted to break these guys down into 2 tiers. I believe these guys on screen are the best 4 pass rushers still available, but I think these guys are actually going to be out of the Giants' price range. I think all of these guys on screen will be too much money. So let's go to tier 2 of the pass rushers. And this is where I think the Giants could go out and look to sign a veteran guy that could be a supplemental and rotational player. And there's a couple of guys that I really, really like. Let's start with Justin Houston, who even though he may be the oldest out of all of them, he's still got some juice in those legs. This past season, 9.5 sacks for the Baltimore Ravens. He has some experience playing in a defense like Wink Martindale runs. If he can play and wants to continue to play and agrees to a cheap-ish contract, which I think he would, I'd love to go get him. Because, man, could you imagine if the Giants get 5 sacks from Justin Houston? And I would love for Justin Houston to be a mentor for Kayvon Thibodeau and Azeez Ojulari. What about Robert Quinn? He was not good last year, but, man, he was good in 2021. He wasn't good in 2020, but, man, was he good in 2019. And if we're just going by the laws of math, 2019 he was good, 2020 he wasn't. 2021 he was good, 2022 he wasn't, which means in 2023, just going by the math, he might actually be good. I believe it would be a 1-year cheap deal for Robert Quinn as well. I would keep my eyes on Robert Quinn and Justin Houston, see if the Giants want to bring in a depth piece and a rotational edge rusher, because I love Thibodeau and I love Azeez Ojulari, but I don't know if I love Ryder Anderson. I don't know if I love Ellerson Smith. I don't know if I love Tom and Fox. I love the interior of this Giants D-line. I love Leonard Williams and Dexter Lawrence and Jihad Ward and Rakeem Nunez-Roches and Ashawn Robinson. But you need another guy to get after the passer. You need someone. Because what happens if Kayvon gets hurt? What happens if Azeez Ojulari, who's been injury-riddled throughout his young NFL career, gets injured? I don't want to speak it into existence. That's not what I'm saying. But as Joe Schoen says, you need to have contingency plans. And I wouldn't mind signing a guy like Justin Houston or Robert Quinn. I believe there'll be cheap contracts, and I believe those Giants is what they're looking for at this point. I do want to ask you guys, though, what's your confidence in this Giants pass rush? Is it high? Is it low? Scale it for me. 1 being you're not confident at all. 10 being you have the utmost trust and confidence in this pass rush group. Mine's about a 5, to be honest with you. I love our top 2 guys, but you need some more depth. You need some more bodies. So I'd go with a 5, but let me know what you think down below. Thank you to everybody that is tuned in to today's video. I wanted to do this video because I do believe the Giants could add another player, and this is usually the time of year when you see those veterans get signed over the next couple of weeks. So appreciate it. Hit that thumbs up icon if you enjoyed today's show. Woo! I see a 4 from Wyatt, of course. Rob gives it a 7. Ski gives it a 5. None of your business gives it a 6. Gilly, 7.6. Marty gives it an 8.5. Mr. Ricks gives it a 7. You guys aren't worried about your number 2 edge rusher or your 3rd edge rusher being Ryder Anderson or Timon Fox or Tomon Fox? He can hit hard. He made a couple of big hits for the Giants. But I'd like a guy that's actually done it in the NFL before. Just my thought.
I like the non-rookie scores out there, though, Marsh. The decimals.
I do. A 7.8 from S.C.H. Dell.
7.5.
Matthew Valverde.
Like, I just love it.
Gilly says those guys are solid. Ryder Anderson is solid. What would tell you Ryder Anderson is solid? What would tell you that Tomon Fox is a solid pass rusher?
Well, Tomon Fox is a solid pass rusher.
Well, I mean, why didn't he do very well when he had to play? Look, I'm not trying to be
he's
mean.
Young. He's ready to bounce back.
He is. I don't want to be mean to these guys. You know when the Giants were at their best? When they had a rotation of great edge rushers. The Eagles had 5 guys last year that more than 10 sacks. Do we have 3 guys that can get 10 sacks? And if we do, the 3rd one's probably Leonard Williams or Dexter Lawrence. And you need more edge rushers. I don't want to see Azeez Ojulari having to play 80% of the snaps. I don't want to see Kayvon Thibodeau running himself into the dirt because we don't have any rotational pass rushers.
If every game was played on prime time, Kayvon Thibodeau might have 20 sacks.
Primetime loves me.
What a legendary game that was.
That was a great game. Was that the one? Was that the tie or the win?
No, it was the win against the Commanders.
Okay, where he had the strip sack fumble, TD.
Yeah, strip sack fumble. You went on your crazy rant about Tyler Heineke's shoes. Because remember the Commanders had a chance to tie or win it super late. They were at the goal line.
End zone. Yeah, I remember now.
The game was electric.
It was like those games were like 1 week apart. The one they tied and they played again.
Well, yeah, in that game I'm talking about, the Sunday night game, if they scored to tie it, or I forget what it was, if they didn't score to tie it or they went for the win, I don't know what it was, but if they did go to overtime,
it would have been the same score.
It would have been the exact same score. 23-23 would have been a tie again.
Yeah. All righty, we're going to close out today's show with a mailbag. So if you want your question featured on the show, I need you to use hashtag Giants down in the comment section. Or if you want to guarantee your spot on the show, you can super chat as well. Eric Cruz sent in a $5 super chat. We appreciate it, Eric. We'll save that for the mailbag. If you deem any of these super chats as mailbag questions, feel free.
Yeah.
Hashtag Giants or super chat if you want to be featured on today's show. How are we looking on questions over there?
We're a little light, fellas. Get those numbers up. You've had all show so far. We've been live for an hour and 18 minutes. We've done 3 different little Giants segments for you. And I don't see, we have enough, maybe. But we could bump those numbers up. You get 1 chance a week to ask Marsh your Giants questions. Take advantage of it. Come on.
Get your questions in. I would greatly appreciate it if you did.
Interesting.
Cameron Johnson's good question.
Interesting question.
I'm not really a fantasy guy, to be honest with you, so Rolly can let you know about that.
Do you want me to answer it now? All right. I do play fantasy football quite a bit. It seems that out of the office, people in the office, I've just got a vibe check. It seems like I am the number 1 fantasy guy, at least in terms of how much I care about it. But either way, Cameron Johnson asks, are you taking Darren Waller in fantasy this year? I would. Probably in the later rounds, though. Like 7th, 8th round, early look. I mean, his injury history, new offense. Now, the potential is there, but I just think there are probably 4 or 5 tight ends I'd rather have in fantasy this year. Fantasy football is much different than normal football, but when it comes to fantasy football, I think I would have him in like the 6th, 7th, 8th round right now.
Ruisu Can't Eat Cheese says, totally random, but what's the plan on a Jets Now channel? No Jets channel is currently in the cards. But one day at Chat Sports, we will have all 32 channels. And we'll be putting daily content on all of those. Soon enough, my friend. Soon enough. Soon enough. Ariel B. Estrada says, is DeVito any good? No, he's not good. I know it's going to upset some people because he is a local kid. And is he just a camp body? Yes.
That's not Tommy DeVito, is it?
It is.
They signed the Syracuse quarterback?
Tommy DeVito.
That is a joke. He is god-awful.
You better be nice because a lot of people like him because he's a New Jersey kid.
Well, I'm sorry, New Jersey guys. Just recognize
he's not good.
He's not a good football
player.
Look,
if Sean Clifford's getting drafted and you're not, that's a problem. That was the worst pick of the draft, by the way.
I think it is. Sean Clifford is a backup QB in the 5th round. That's a joke.
He stinks.
Dude, he's horrible. He was also at Penn State for like 8 years.
Yeah, he should have a doctorate by now. Oh, man. Gilly says, when will y'all make a Discord? I don't know a thing about Discord, Gilly.
The good thing about Discord, Marsh, is that if we made a Discord, we don't have to really do much. It runs itself. Like, you could pop in there from time to time if you want to, but it's more of just another way for Giants fans to talk to each other. It's not like you have to do anything. We just have to put it together, get people to join, and then they will run, they will FaceTime, they will talk, text to themselves. You could hop in once in a while, but like it's not like you'd have to be active in doing something on a day-to-day basis.
I'll talk to my bosses about it, Gilly. They're pretty mean, so maybe not. But we'll see. We'll see. Mitch got a question in. I'll just tell you right now. Giants are not trading for Cooper Kupp or Jalen Waddle.
Jalen Waddle is
He is not a giant. He is not a giant.
He's off limits.
He says, I would boost the server. What the hell does that mean?
See, I know Discord, but I don't know what boosting the server means. Can you elaborate, Gilly?
Are you saying like since you're in there, everyone's gonna want to come in there?
Or
like you got the clout to bring people in?
Or are you talking like X's and O's? Like,
are you would promote it to people?
Yeah, I don't really know what this means. It's when people pay toward the server to give it more features. Wait a minute. So what do you mean pay for more features?
Like what?
Seems like we're getting dangerously close to OnlyFans.
This does kind of sound like OnlyFans. Y'all want me to start an OnlyFans?
I didn't know
pretty much saying.
I didn't know money was in the works here. Now I'm lost.
Did Leonard Floyd sign to the Bears? Because Wyatt keeps saying it, and I think that's fake news.
Wyatt, are you asking? Ooh, Joel Embiid is officially ruled out.
Did Leonard Floyd sign to the Bears? All right. Wyatt, stop. Your boy Wyatt is spreading fake. Harrison, come talk to Wyatt. I'm tired of him spreading fake news in this Giants chat.
Hang on, I got to put a different shirt on.
This whole Discord thing sounds a lot like OnlyFans, to be honest.
So, I just don't understand the pay. What are
you paying for? I thought it was free.
I thought it was too. It seems like OnlyFans and easy.
I think Discord is pretty much OnlyFans. Trace, what do you know about Discord?
Oh, Mitch says it's his favorite site.
It's pretty much like OnlyFans, right?
So Gilly's
saying it's free, but you can also pay for advanced content.
Where's my boy Wyatt?
Wyatt,
My boy White.
Tell him to stop spreading fake news.
Yeah, Floyd is not a bear, at least not at this time.
If Floyd was a bear, Harrison would be live.
I'd be live. I'll be live tomorrow.
Hey, Harry.
What's good, Wyatt?
He'll be there tomorrow, Wyatt.
3 Central, Wyatt.
Wyatt, remember
How
when
was
you...
your camping trip, Wyatt?
He went camping?
He went camping this weekend, yet he was still tuning in.
Wow, you had Wi-Fi out in the swamps?
I told him it's not like it. Back in our day, you went camping, you were off the grid for like 3
Yeah.
days.
No Discord while you're out
No cell
camping.
phone.
I need Gilly to tell me what the difference is. She says it is free, but how does it now become paid to get better stuff? It sounds like OnlyFans, where you can be on there for free, but then you pay for everything else you want. What's the difference?
I don't know. Maybe we just let it be. Here, I'll ask the bosses about a Discord. We'll see what they say. How about that? We'll leave it at that.
I'm lost.
Okay, so if people choose to boost the server gets more features. What's a feature that you can pay for?
Yeah, what
feature?
Good question. And who gets the money? That's question number 2.
Yeah, does the money go to Discord?
Or does it go to the creators of the servers?
Ooh, good question. You only pay if you want to send pictures and vids about
and we've got to OnlyFans.
That is OnlyFans.
This is OnlyFans.
Discord gets the money. That's BS.
Or stream. So we could stream to Discord?
This is crazy. Y'all are crazy, man. Bill says that's not what it is.
Seems like Bill really knows the fine line between Discord and OnlyFans. Tell me if I'm wrong, though.
I will go look it up, Gilly. I will go look it up just for you. All right, let's do our mailbag. If you want to be featured on the mailbag, you know what to do. Mitch, last thing I'm going to do is pay for your OnlyFans, my man. Bill's a Discord guy. Bill, do you think we should start a Discord? Let me know.
It's all gaming. I just don't get the money aspect. I thought I knew about it, and then the boost just threw a whole wrench into my brain.
So it's like one of those apps where you get the minimum features for free and then you pay to unlock better features is what it sounds like.
Sounds like it. Like more emojis. Why do you need more emojis?
All righty. If you want to be featured on today's show, go ahead and use hashtag Giants down in the comments section. And you could super chat, and I guess we'll talk about it unless it's about Discord or OnlyFans. He needs to be an emoji for each Giant. Maybe we put Gilly in charge of our Discord.
Yeah, I think that might be the move.
Bill, if you give me the 411 on this thing that the kids are calling Discord, I'll check it out. I thought that... All right.
I thought it was free.
I thought it was free, too.
I'm confused.
Oh, my God. Gilly is very funny, Susan. Gilly is very funny.
Mitch,
Good to see you in the chat, Susan.
Mitch, what's up with you, man?
Thank you, Gilly. Thank you, Susan. We appreciate
All right,
you.
let's
All
go
right,
Giants
let's do
mailbag.
it. Giants mailbag. What up, Giants fans? You're tuned into New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. In today's show, we got a mailbag which aired from our live show that goes down every Monday evening. So subscribe to the channel. Go down right now, hit that big red button, because if we missed your question, it means you're not a subscriber. And I want to answer your question. So hit that sub button right now. Eric Cruz, what up, EC? With a super chat. Thank you, Eric. He says, hey, Marshall, who do you think is going to be the starter at wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2, and slot? That's a good question because the Giants have a whole bunch of receivers right now on the roster. I believe that Isaiah Hodgins is going to be a starter at the wide receiver spot. And after that, I think it's all open for competition. I think you could see a guy like Paris Campbell. I think you could see a guy like Darius Slayton, Wan'Dale Robinson, Sterling Shepard, Jalen Hyatt. I got to get used to saying that. I think it's all up in the air. I think the only guy that's going to be a starter for sure is Isaiah Hodgins, and I think it's good because he was really good, and I think he knows this offense really well. And I think Daniel Jones has a really good connection and chemistry with Isaiah Hodgins. So all those other spots are open, like the slot receiver spot. It could be Campbell. It could be Robinson. It could be Shepard. It could be any three of those guys. Or even Jamison Crowder could compete for that spot. Colin Johnson coming back from injury. A lot of open spots, Eric. A lot of open spots. Sorry I can't give you a hard, set in stone answer, but I think it's going to be a rotation, no doubt about it. Aunt Ben Rott with a super chat. Thank you, Ben. Aunt Ben. Saquon, 5 years, $100 million. No way, no how. No way, no how. No. He's not signing for $20 million. There's a report. The Giants offered him a contract of $14 million. Did he decline it? Did he accept it? I don't know. We'll find out. Evan with a $2 super chat. What are your expectations for JMS, Tay, Banks, and Hyatt? I think John Michael Schmitz is going to be your day one starter for the New York Giants. I believe Deontay Banks is going to be able to compete to be a starting corner alongside Adoree Jackson. The learning curve in the past in history really shows you that there is a tough time for these young corners to really adjust to the game. Kind of got disproved last year with Sauce Gardner and Tariq Woolen, but I think he has a chance. I think Hyatt is going to make big plays for this team. Is he going to have 60 catches? Probably not. But can I get 4 or 5 touchdowns this year where Hyatt just blows past the defense and he gets loose and we party in the end zone? Absolutely. I think Hyatt is going to be a big player this year. Big-time playmaker, explosive player for the Giants. As it has always been, F. Rowley. Mitch, is this your burner account? He says, should the Giants trade for Patrick Queen? Ravens did not pick up his 5th-year option, and we need another linebacker. Hashtag Giants. Trading for him, what's it going to cost? Like that's always the price of doing business. What is it going to cost to land a guy like Patrick Queen? 5th-round pick? 6th-round pick? And you're going to have to pay him because his 5th-year option didn't get picked up. He'll play this year on his 4th year and final year of his rookie deal, and then you're going to have to pay him. Look, Patrick Queen's stats are awesome. I mean, look at what he's done in his young NFL career. 3 seasons of pretty much 100 tackles. He's extremely athletic. I do like that Wink Martindale knows Patrick Queen. So if Martindale goes and pounds the table in Joe Shane's office and says, we got to have him, sure. The stats are better, though, than the actual player is, unfortunately. PFF ranked Patrick Queen as the 31st linebacker this year. I like that he has some good sack numbers. I like the athletic ability that he brings. I like that he has a lot of QB hits in his career, but he's not a great coverage linebacker. And that's not everything you're looking for in a linebacker. But I wouldn't mind trading for him. I wouldn't do anything more than a 5th-round pick at best, though. You do need another linebacker, in my opinion. I love Bobby Okereke. He's definitely going to be a starter. Gerard Davis is okay. Carter Coughlin, special teams player. Darian Beavers, he's going to be pretty much a rookie this year after he didn't play due to a torn ACL. Cam Brown, special teams. Micah McFadden, you're expecting him to take a jump in year 2. So I wouldn't mind trading for Patrick Queen. The price just has to meet the point that we deem as worth it. And I wouldn't go any more expensive than a 5th-round pick. So I'll ask you this question. Do you think the Giants should trade for Patrick Queen? Good player, fun player, big name, athletic linebacker, sideline to sideline, true speed. You think they should do it? Type T for trade, type P for pass. Let me know what you think. I do know this much. If the Giants trade for Patrick Queen, we are going live here on the channel. So make sure you guys are subscribed and have your notifications tuned on. If the Giants make a move, we make a video. Hit that sub button so you never miss anything when it comes to the New York Football Giants. Omega Supreme with a $2 super chat. Why was Bryce Ford Wheaton undrafted? He looks like a beast. He does look like a beast. 6'5", 200+ pounds, runs a 4.3 40-inch vertical. His athletic comp is DK Metcalf, but he ain't DK Metcalf. Good player. The production does not match the athletic traits. I actually watched a video earlier this week of every catch he made at West Virginia, and I never really saw the 4.3 speed. I never really saw the 40+ inch vertical, but I did see a big body that has speed, that has athletic traits that you look for, and a guy that has the ability to high point the football. I I really can't give you a reason he went undrafted because there was a lot of receivers that were drafted that are not better than him. But I love the addition in the UDFA pool by Joe Schoen. Buy low, low risk, high reward potentially with Bryce Ford Wheaton. Man, 6'5", 4'3", 40. Type of guys you create on Madden. Let's see if he could be a pro football player. I like the move. Let's see how he progresses in his NFL career and if he makes this roster. We're loaded at receiver. It's going to be tough. Rob Jigga, what up, Brody? He says, was it wise to draft that running back in the 4th round over, say, a defensive end? Maybe a running back could have been taken later. Well, he was selected in the 5th round. He was our 4th selection, but Eric Gray was selected in the 5th round out of Oklahoma. I like him, Rob Jig. At the time, I said it in the video. I watched it. I said it way too many times. I like it, but I don't love the pick. And the more I watch him, the more I am starting to really understand why the Giants made this pick. I mean, when you look at the stats that he put out this last year for the Oklahoma Sooners, he's a special player. He forced 58 missed tackles this past year. He is an explosive running back. The speed is not there. He's not the most straight line speed guy, but he's extremely quick. He makes a lot of people miss in the open field, and he's a hard person to tackle. 727 yards after contact this year, and 21 times he carried the ball, or he had 21 carries of more than 15 yards. And he's a good pass catcher as well. I think he's going to be a rotational back. I think he's going to make this backfield better, and I think he's a good player. I'm not sleeping on Gray. He's a good player. I like him. Brian Brown comes in with a question. With our additions in the draft over, where do y'all have us ranked in the entire NFL? That's a good question. Giants were a top 8 team last year if you go by making it to the 2nd round, right? I'd say top 12 based off of just the roster and the coach and what you did last year. I'd say top 12. I think that's fair. I think, unfortunately, you still right now are 3rd in your division, and I will continue to put the Giants 3rd in their division until they beat the Cowboys or Eagles. Eagles beat you 3 times pretty well last year, and the Cowboys beat you last year with a backup quarterback. Giants are much better than they were last year, though. Way more talent added on both sides of the ball. Bobby Okereke and Darren Waller, those are 2 Pro Bowl level talent players. He added both those guys. A'Shawn Robinson's a good player. Raheem Nunez-Roches is a good player. Paris Campbell's a good player. You got to prove it, though. I'd have him ranked in the top 12 in my power rankings, though, if I had to do it right now. 8.5 wins, though, for the Giants. Over, under. They were 9-7-1 last year. What do you think? 8.5 wins for the Giants this year. Type O for over. Type U for under. I'm going to go with 10-7. 10-7. I'm going over. Let's discuss it. Are we concerned with Hyatt's height? Can he go up and get it against all pro defenders? That's not really his game. Going up and getting it, like jumping over the top of DBs and getting it, that's not really his game. He's almost 6'1", so I'm not really worried about the height. He's a deep threat. He runs by people. One of the most explosive players in college football last year. I'm not worried about the height. I want to see him prove that he can run routes instead of just running vertically past people. I'm a huge fan of Hyatt. I think he's going to be a good player for the Giants. I think he could catch some big touchdowns and deep touchdowns for the Giants this year. No doubt about it. Zion McCoy. Is there still rumors about D-Hop? I haven't heard much on the DeAndre Hopkins front at this point. And I think the Giants are probably out on DeAndre Hopkins. I think if they were still in, it would have been before the NFL draft. I don't think the Giants are interested anymore. Corinne, will the Giants pick up Andrews Thomas's 5th-year option? Yes. Absolutely, Corinne. They will. You get him on a cheaper deal for his 5th year instead of extending him long term. He's going to be a Giant, and I hope he retires a Giant. Shout out to Andrew Thomas. Give him some love, because offensive linemen don't get enough love. Type his jersey number 78, down in the comments. Double M, what up? Sign Ingram or Dunlap? I would go with probably Melvin Ingram at this point. I think he's got a little bit more juice. Left in the tank. I'd go with Ingram. I wouldn't mind Dunlap, but I do think Ingram probably has a little bit more juice. I think the Giants do need to sign another edge rusher. I'd look at a guy like Justin Houston or a guy like Robert Quinn, one of those veteran guys that maybe still has some gas left in the tank that would come on a cheap 1-year veteran minimum deal, like Ingram or like Dunlap that you talked about. I'd be cool with either of those guys, but if I had to choose between them, I'd go with Ingram. Mitch, what up? We still need a number 1 wide receiver. Why not go out and get Cooper Kupp or Jalen Waddle? Because the Rams and Dolphins aren't trading those guys. They're not trading them. William Lano, last one in today's show. Over under 23.5 passing touchdowns for Jones. That's a good number. I hope over, right? I hope over. I'm going over right at 24. Right at 24. 24 touchdowns, another 5 on the ground. 29 total. Let me know what you think. Over, under, 23.5. He's done it one time in his career. I believe he did in his rookie year. It was 24. Could be off by a number or two, but I'd go with 24 this year. Good question, though, William. Good question. Appreciate you. Thank you to everyone that tunes in, as always, here on the channel. If I missed your question, go yell at me over on Twitter, and you can send it to me via DM, and I'll answer it for you guys down there, over there, excuse me, at @MarshallGreen_. Give me a follow. Wyatt says, why do people decline 5th-year options? Because why would you want him for another year if they're not playing well?
Yeah, I get it always depends on what the number is. For Patrick Queen, do we know what that number would be for that 1 year?
For
like a linebacker, what would the 5th year be? It can't be much more than 13, 14 mil, right?
No, it won't be that much.
I was gonna say then, I actually would have accepted it. His grade from PFF, which I wouldn't take PFF as the Bible.
The 5th year would have been 12.7 mil.
I will say though, I feel like I would have picked that up. Just give him another year to try to
Even if you're already paying Roquan.
I just feel like them two could be such a versatile middle of the field and stopping the run, defending tight ends. Patrick Queen is a little undersized, but he's fast. He can get after the quarterback. I feel like maybe his coverage PFF grades don't show it, but I still feel halfway decent about him sometimes defending a tight end or making sure his zone that he's got in coverage isn't bad. I don't know. This could be a little biased. I've always been a fan of Patrick Queen. I really liked him coming out in 2021. So, I don't know. It might just be a little biased.
He's solid. I just think that the numbers, he has all-pro numbers. I don't think he's an all-pro player. A thing that concerns me with him is he has 60 missed tackles in 3 seasons.
Yeah.
That's a missed tackle rate of 16.
I think that goes back to his smaller frame as a linebacker, where sometimes the bigger guys, the big running backs coming through the hole, the guy with the ball in his hands will break through his arm tackles. That's kind of what.
He's good. I'm not saying he's not good. I don't think I could pay him 13 mil. Especially if I'm already paying 20. That's $33 million this year for your 2 inside linebackers. That's a lot. Would you rather have him for 13 mil or they signed OBJ? They paid Lamar Jackson. They're probably light on cash right now. I don't know. It's a good conversation. This was his best year according to PFF. His rookie year, they gave him a 29 overall grade. They gave him a 43 in 2020.
Wait, a 29 overall?
Yeah.
I didn't know he was that bad.
He missed 22 tackles and had 76. That's a missed tackle rate of 18. It's bad. This was his best year, though. He missed only 18 tackles, and he had 87. That's 13. 70 overall this year. He's a good pass rusher from the inside linebacker spot.
Wyatt, man, I love you, but stop spreading lies. Don't do it. We'll have to mute you or something, man. Can't be saying that.
Wyatt, you're a funny kid. Alrighty. Trey says, do you think Saquon would play on the franchise tag? Yes. I do think Saquon Barkley is going to play on the franchise tag. I don't see Saquon as a guy that's going to hold out.
I don't think he can afford to hold out.
Yeah, like if he doesn't play, what's going to happen? You're going to go the Le'Veon Bell route?
That didn't work out for him.
Yeah.
Wyatt, yes, you are. The Bears did not sign Yannick Ngakoue.
So according to Wyatt, the Bears have signed Yannick Ngakoue and Leonard Floyd today. I think Saquon, a deal gets done. I do. I think a long-term deal gets done between the Giants and... Why are you typing yay, Wyatt? What? You keep spreading fake news. We're going to block you on the chat, my man. All righty. Daniel says, who would you start at left guard? Azudu. I'm going with Izudu as well, my man. Top 100 pick. You got to let him play. If he plays bad, you go and play someone else.
Let the North Carolina kid cook.
Look, you pick someone in the top 100, they got to play. They got to play. It's not funny. It's not funny. Yeah, I think you did block him. Yeah, he's something. All righty, we're going to sign off on today's show. Awesome stream, awesome audience. You guys are awesome. We peaked at almost 400 people watching live. Shout out to you guys. We'll see you later.